More often than not, people who love to eat white rice have to give it up as an option, and it's more often than not considered as a taboo dish if you're on your weight loss journey. But here I have shown you a perfect example of how to consume white rice. Like I told you, use it as a lunch option and not as dinner. If you know how much to eat, when to eat, you're never going to put on any extra kilos. Don't worry about it. Now, if you're a newbie and love to cook and looking for that perfect recipe to begin your weight loss journey, I will share today's recipe with you because this is so quick and easy. It's an absolute delight for Weight Watchers, and it is a fabulous diet recipe because it is healthy, it is nutrient dense, and it is made of rice. You can easily throw it together if you're in a rush because this is actually made of leftover rice, and it is a very famous South Indian dish. You guessed it, this is the lemon rice recipe for today's diet recipe, as it is a stunning, most delicious, simplest of all, soul food many crave for. But it's so easy to make, which you might have not known. So let me help you through how to make it. The entire recipe contains only 221 calories, with good 6 grams of proteins coming from this and about 9 grams of fat coming from this. And it's just the perfect choice to have on a hot summer's day when you don't want to enter the kitchen and cook something lavish or fancy for yourself. This is the right choice. Just steam it up with a big bowl of salad because this is actually slightly low on fiber, but it's a good source of complex carbohydrates. It's going to keep you full for longer and definitely satiated. So let's begin. What are we waiting for? Welcome to my kitchen, Diet Recipes by Natasha Mohan. First up, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of olive oil into the pan. I'm using olive oil for this dish, but if you want, you can actually use mustard oil or any oil which you prefer. Next up, I'm going to add mustard seeds. Now here I'm using the black mustard seeds, and I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of it, and I'm going to let it splutter. And then we are going to add Bengal gram, which is about 1/4 teaspoon. And then we are going to add the dehusked black gram, which is commonly known as urad dal all over India. That also I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon. Then I'm going to add about 2 whole red chilies, which is dry red chilies, because I want the oil to retain all that flavor of the chili. I'm going to add chopped ginger, chopped green chilies, and curry leaves, which is also finely chopped. Then I'm going to give it a good mix and saute it on very low flame because we don't want to burn this masala. Next, we're going to add some turmeric powder, about a teaspoon, because that's where the yellow color for the lemon rice is going to come from. We're going to mix it well into the oil and all the other masalas for it to cook about 30 to 40 seconds before the raw smell of the turmeric is evaporated. Next up, I'm going to add about 100 grams of leftover rice to this, because leftover rice, actually each grain stands out and stands apart. It doesn't stick to each other, so that's why I actually prefer leftover rice for this. But if you want, you can even make it with fresh rice. I'll leave it up to you to decide. So once we're done with that, I'm going to add some spices to the rice, like salt to taste and just a pinch of garam masala. Then I'm going to mix it up well. So you need to be a little careful when you're mixing the rice. You have to use gentle hands, and just the same movement which I'm using, I learned it from my mum. So this way the rice grains will not break. We have to be very gentle in handling the rice because it's a very soft grain. Next up, I'm going to add about half a cup of curd, which will actually act as a binding agent, and it's going to bind the entire thing together. So the entire dish will be evenly coated from the yellow color of the turmeric. Next up, we are going to add the lemon because that's the only thing which is missing from the lemon rice. So I'm going to squeeze about half a lemon into this. That's how tangy I like it, and the sourness of the curd is also there, so be careful. Don't go ahead and add too much of lemon. You can always add lemon later on, but don't overdo it now. So whenever you're adding lemon, make sure to add it with the flame switched off. Now it's time to turn it into a gourmet dish by decorating it, but that's not the purpose. I'm actually measuring the quantity into the bowl because I'm only going to consume about 100 grams of this. So the bowl which I'm using is already pre-measured and it's exactly 100 grams. So that's how I keep a check on my weight. Now go ahead and have a look at the nutritional value chart which I have created for you for the entire dish. So I hope you enjoyed today's recipe, which was my favorite lemon rice recipe. It is soul food and definitely comfort food for many. So if you enjoyed today's recipe and if there's any other recipe which you want me to make for you specially, then do let me know in the comment section. I will be happy to help if you have any further queries. Do let me know in the comment section. Besides that, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the bell notification. So whenever I post a new video, you're the first one to be notified. Until we meet with many more exciting and new recipes, all I can say is bye-bye and take care.